Okay. Hello, Facebook. Welcome to a live stream of the Adventure Paradox podcast. I just had the funnest, is that a word? Funnest? I mean, we're playing around here, so we're going to use the word funnest. I just had the funnest conversation with an incredible naturalist and author. She's still here before me, Susie Spikol, coming in from New Hampshire. She has won all kinds of awards. She has published 3 books. She has a podcast, Wild at Home, which is geared towards children, coming out this spring. And you are in for a treat to hear just a little bit of her original medicine and wisdom that she's brought here to this earth. But first of all, Susie, what do you want to say to Facebook? How are you doing today?
I'm going to say hi, Facebook. Everything's going great. I spent the morning searching for spiders with third graders and fourth graders, the afternoon talking about bats with some general public people, and now I'm here with Kat. I'm super excited. And you guys, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Susie, you are a legend over the course of your 35-year career. And, you'll hear all of this in the full-length podcast episode, which is dropping on Halloween. So stay tuned. But you have taught thousands of children, parents, and teachers. You've given hundreds of talks. You also got New Hampshire's Environmental Educator Award. I'm so honored to have had this conversation with you. I am in awe of the magic that you brought. And specifically, I have one of your books here, which is called Forest Magic for Kids. And I just want to touch on your activities. One in particular, we talked about the importance of play and creating maybe a tiny home. Could you say more on that for listeners?
Yeah, sure. I'm all about small world creation. I just think it's such an essential part of childhood where children make small worlds. I especially love it when they're outside, whether they're gnome homes, fairy homes, or homes for tiny little mice having grand adventures. And it's really about kind of the chance for kids to imagine themselves being the boss of something. They are in control of it, to create small things with their tiny little motor skills and yeah, just kind of connect to making an imaginary story too, come alive. So that's what I love. I love the small world games.
Love, love, love. And we also touched on using natural materials in nature, letting seasons, let them come and go. We talked about a very famous artist in this department who you may or may not know, but you'll want to hear the whole interview. We also talked about having animals, domestic animals, and that spectrum of domestic animals to wildlife. And you mentioned a very funny story about if you want to see wildlife, get this animal.
Yeah, yeah. I live pretty rural in New Hampshire where a lot of people have lots of kind of domestic animals in their backyard, from cows and horses to chickens. And this story was about chickens and how if you really want to see wildlife, get some chickens because it draws all the wildlife to the chicken coop. I can speak. I once caught a great horned owl in my chicken net. It came in to get one of my chickens, and my electric fence caught it. And I spent the afternoon having to get it. It was fine having to get it out, but wow, did I get a close-up view of a great horned owl?
Powerful, powerful, powerful. You're reminding me, and we could go off on another tangent of an owl story I also had. And oh my gosh, amazing when nature connects with us and we have the opportunity to connect with nature. And we talk a little bit about imaginative play versus directive play and what you've seen over the course of your career in how children are playing differently and maybe why that is.
Yeah, I noticed I've been teaching kids for over 30 years, and I'm noticing that kids seem to not really know how to play outside on their own. They're often kind of at a loss. And I think that we have a lot of opportunities for our kids that are really parent directed, adult directed. Think about soccer or dancing lessons or music lessons, art lessons. The kids are booked. They've got these schedules that they're keeping, and that's great. They're learning new skills, but something that they're losing is the opportunity to have that free time to play as a child. And I think that's so important for kids, not just for kids, but to play as even adults. That kind of playful spirit and imaginative spirit. So yeah, we do talk a lot about play in the podcast. So you'll have to listen for more of what we say about play.
We talked about some studies and also this idea of remembering because maybe it's already in us, this thing we've forgotten as we've replaced it with, a different kind of play on a screen or being told what to do, and not having any of that free time. Something we touched on a little bit is this idea of what's real or not. I feel like this is very apropos since it's Halloween. We also talk about Bubblini and imaginary play.
Yeah.
It's coming soon to a book near you, and you can get the whole thing later. But this concept of wild at home, your podcast that's coming, and really touching on teaching kids what's real, like what real wildness and place-based education not only looks like, but feels like. Could you
Yeah,
that?
yeah. The wild at home is really about the idea of nature is all around us. And I think as adults, sometimes we can think we're not really having a natural experience unless we see something like amazing, like a rainbow and a bald eagle all at the same time. But for kids and for us, let's get back to the basics. A cardinal, beautiful red bird is such a gift to see, and we can get complacent about it. But if we look at it through children's eyes and kind of step into what our children are seeing, it is stunning. It's a stunning bird. And I am all about the everyday wild animals that are in our world. So think, ladybugs and caterpillars and chipmunks and squirrels and chickadees, that kind of stuff.
So good. I love it so much. And we also talk about that in gateway animals, depending on where you live, because this naturalist may or may not have grown up in a city. So, anyways, we talk about all of those things. I know people are going to want to find you. It'll all be in the show notes when the podcast drops. But if they're watching today and they're eager to go pick up one of your books, where can they find and follow you?
They can find me at my website, which is just susiespikol.com, or Instagram, just Susie Spikol. And my books are all available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads, Bookshop, your local independent bookstore, my favorite place to buy my books.
Absolutely, every time. Thank you so much for your time, Susie, and your original medicine and gifts in this world. Hats off to you and all of those heading out into the woods to play in nature and stay connected to this beautiful planet we call home.
Thank you, Kat. This was so much fun, and thanks to everybody who's tuned in today.
Take care, y'all, and happy Halloween.